So, it's been an insane day for Xbox, and with Xbox leaks all over the place. This is actually, I think, maybe my third attempt of making this video because it just gets deeper and deeper. I started this morning off with 4 slides of a presentation that showed the future of just the Xbox Series X. And I was ready to do kind of a whole video on that. And then just more and more came out. And the reason we're seeing this is the same reason we saw the Nintendo Switch 2 leaks yesterday. It's the FTC. And it's a lot of leaks that is just coming out of the court documents. And I'm sure there's going to be so much more coming. But I just want to get this out first. But yes, the future of at least this generation of Xbox is out there now. We're going to see where the mid-fresh releases, the idea that they're going to have a next-gen console by 2028, at least they plan to, that Phil Spencer would love to buy Nintendo, would love to buy it. So, yeah, let's start looking at this. All right, so as I was saying, there's a lot of just information to unpack from this leak, and I'm not even go over that what I just said, that Phil Spencer wants to buy Nintendo. That's a huge one, but let's just, for this video, focus on the Xbox side of it, and almost go through this. Like, I think that if I would set up a PowerPoint trying to go show investors, the government, what's going on. So let's look at their core statement. Their cohesive hybrid compute. They want to develop a next generation hybrid game platform capable of leveraging the combined power of client and cloud to deliver deeper immersion. That is exactly what I have been saying Game Pass is. I feel so validated. Like, Game Pass is their future. That's what they want. That's how they're going to get everybody into their ecosystem. And yes, that's very interesting. And going back to this slide, there's not anything really big except for that last line, a thin OS, lacking thin OS for under $99 consumer or handheld devices. That I have been wondering and speculating whether there's going to be an Xbox handheld, and that Phil Spencer keeps talking about this idea that he plays the ROG Ally. It's clear that they are looking at cheap devices for the handheld to compete with, I guess, Nintendo or these bigger platforms, like bigger than Nintendo, the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally. Because that price point under $99 is insane. You would think, okay, we're going to go the game route on phones, work with Apple, work with Samsung, work with Google, but just a device that hooks you in. It blows my mind. And with the power of Nintendo, if Phil Spencer gets what he wants, that's pretty amazing. So let's look at the timeline. As you can see on this timeline, we have the first Xbox at 2001, and then the 360 at 2005, and we're in that 2020 era. And this is where we get that idea that, hey, we're going 2028 for next gen and immersive game and app platform. Like, is that VR? Are we going VR? Like, do they have plans? Like, this idea, like, is that the future? Like, looking at Apple Vision and Meta, Oculus, whatever it's called these days, is that really where we're heading? Like, are they going to try to compete with Beat Saber and all these things? Like, is it going to be this whole body experience, kind of like what we thought was with the Wii? This is an interesting route. Going back to this, Project xCloud is their big thing for now. The idea that you get to play off of servers and hardware that's not anywhere near you, that's their big point for right now. And They got some aspects coming for players that we're going to look at right now. Because it's no secret that Microsoft is into AI, they want to put it in the Xbox, and this is kind of what they're looking at right now. And unfortunately, this graph isn't that great for me because it's color coded with colors that I can barely distinguish. But you know, the idea that we get super resolution with deep neural network, which means the AI is like kind of doing what NVIDIA is trying to do with DLSS 3.5. You know, AI game testing. That I find that a little strange because just as a game tester, I don't see how an AI could pick up on things that a human could not. Player services, again, just have an AI look for like, you know, hate speech and all that stuff. And wow, I've never seen, not since college have I seen a like kind of a business strategy put out like this, where you're looking at all the things they want to develop, like how to use AI to monetize player services, you know, how to moderate chat. You know, some kid starts screaming, hopefully AI will just shut them the fuck up already, so you can actually have your headphones on and maybe talk with it. Clearly I have been playing a lot recently, so yeah, that's a big one as I keep glaring at it. Like matchmaking, player rankings, I hate when I end up in a group that, you know, is way above me, because I really, other than the work I do testing, I am a casual player, so I would prefer that. But let's look at the next generation of consoles. All right, we got Elwood. As you can see, I actually have a Series S behind me, and I honestly thought the Black Series S was the update. I thought that was the mid-fresh, getting the 1 terabyte, but here we have another update coming, and I believe this is going to be last quarter of 2024. And please remember, this isn't dates based upon our normal calendar, it's the economic calendar. But looking at Elwood, you know, you get the terabyte storage, you get the new controller, which we're going to go over at the end. It's going to be $299, which is a huge difference. That's a price drop now from what is the black one. This is assuming that it's going to be white. It's going to have the South Bridge. It's going to the Wi-Fi 6E, and this is all stuff that's going to be with the Series X2, the Bluetooth 5.2. And it's going to use a lot less power, which, you know, not to be too political, I did not get why one side of the aisle in the United States was so upset with Xbox because it used less power. This is a good thing. You save money. You save money. But here's the updated version of what we thought was going to be the only digital version. Well, there's a new digital version on the Brooklyn, the Brookline. But yes, it is the new Series X, and it is the all-new digital version, which makes me... I understand, because I was about to say, why would you have the Series S? Phil Spencer has stated many times that he wants to have that price point as an entry for casual gamers. Like, if I didn't do professional gaming, like I'm not the esports, like, you know, I keep saying I do some basic testing for a bunch of mobile games. So, like, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't need a more powerful system. I wouldn't need multiple systems. If I didn't do this, I wouldn't need it. So I can understand this one, but this one is huge to me because it starts at $499. It starts at $499, which is the price of the Series X right now, but it is all digital. So I have a lot of questions, but let's go over just the stats right now. As you can see, it's a completely new design without the disc tray. You get 2 terabytes because games are insanely big now. Thanks, Starfield. I know that wasn't the first, but you know, that's the one that just came out. You got the USB-C port in the front with power delivery. You're going to get that new controller. You're going to get all the same, like, Wi-Fi 6E, the Bluetooth 5.2, but it's got a smaller die at 6 nanometers for improved efficiency, modernized I/O. It has two USB A's in the back, so if you're like me and you just buy random storage for older games, you can do that. Again, reduced power consumption all around. Like the standby is 20% of the current Series S. That is amazing. Just idea of lower power consumption. That's what you expect with new technology. But this one does have me some questions. Like, is there going to be a price drop on the current Series X? Like, it's at the same price. And, what's messing me up, got me in my bag, is the idea that it's compared to the PS5. And I know this is the refresh, and we haven't really seen the PS5 refresh, but the way PlayStation did it was the one with the disc was more money to start off with, and the digital was cheaper. Fucks with my head. Like, well, what's the pricing going to be? Because I've debated about getting, a Series X, and I would want the disc. Like, that's like the big selling point for me, because most of the games I either delete or store on the, external drive, and I can use cloud on the Xbox One behind me. Yes, that is a, launch edition Xbox One right there, and I've played Starfield on it through the cloud. I find it incredibly playable. It brings life to that console. But I'm wondering, like, hey, where's the price gonna be? Is it gonna be good for, like, do I wait a couple years and just ride it out with the two systems I have, knowing that I still have my Xbox 360 and play that? I don't know. I don't know what the secondhand market would be. Tell me, do you think there's going to be a price drop in this current console version of the Series X? Because I know the answer for the other one already, and we're going to get to that when we get to the timeline of events. But, or is it just going to be the same? Like, hey, you don't get the extra terabyte, but you get the disk drive. Like, what you doing, Phil Spencer? What you doing? Why you gotta mess with me like that? So let's look at just across the board what's new in this, next slide right here. All right, here's the summary of everything. And yes, there's one system on here that wasn't talked about, and one controller that hasn't been talked about. And for some reason, I haven't talked about the controller yet. I'll get to it after this, because it's just a controller. So, we got the Elwood, which is the Series S update, 1440p, 10 gigabytes of RAM. It's solid. What's new, 1 terabyte, newish 1 terabyte. You get all the new connectivity. You get the new controller, which I can't believe I have to go back and talk about that. No real big refresh. You still have the 3 USB-A ports. As you can see, the ID refresh is light. It is pretty light. But, the Series X and XDL, I can't wait to see what the difference is between that, because you don't really see it on this chart, but you get all the new connectivity with the USB-C, you get the 2 terabytes. It's all digital, no disk drive whatsoever. That's the big thing. And this is definitely an all-new console. And, with the controller, direct to cloud, raised to wake, those are big things that I'm about to talk about. So I forgot to talk about this while I was talking about the systems. Well, it's Play Anywhere. Wireless 2, direct to cloud. So if you have some type of small device, a handheld, maybe talking, I don't know why it wouldn't have its own controllers. But if there was, like, say, a tablet that you're playing, Xbox Game Pass on, like maybe it'll come to the iPad, and boom, it has like direct connection to it. You get, new mobile app features that let you play. It pairs devices in the cloud. You can manage the devices. Oh, there's so much. What I love is the rechargeable swappable battery. That is something. It's one of the bigger reasons why I like Xbox, is that it has used AA, which means I can put in rechargeable batteries. Like, I don't need to completely replace it. The controllers are pretty easy to open, and it's just more recyclable. It's more right to repair. It's easy to open. I like that. And the rest of it, when talking about a controller, I gotta feel it. Like they say, there's new thumbsticks that's quieter. I don't know if I really like that much because I like the clickiness. That's personal preference. I would need to actually physically touch it. So yeah, let's look what they're trying to do and when this is all coming out. And it's going to be a holiday season. It's a few years away, this all this launch. You know, the new controller coming in at $70 May for year 2024. Then between June, July, what is that, Gamescom, or is that Games Fest? I forget which one's around that time. I think it's Games Fest. Yeah, it's Games Fest. What am I thinking? Gamescom was just here. It's going to be announced. And then for that holiday season, the quarter, I think it's first quarter. I always have trouble with this, even though I study a bunch of econ. But, you know, August, you get the new launch of the new Series S at $299. Then you get the Brookline, the Series X. You know, October for the holiday season. And I love this because you just see what they're planning on doing. So last chance to get the original 512 gigabyte Series S for $200 on Black Friday. That's a great one. Yeah, it's gifting season. But separate from Elwood, just the fact that they already have this idea that we're going to liquidate the hell out of the original Series S, which is a huge pickup for anyone who likes emulation. You spend the $20 for developer mode. Hopefully, I know people are going to crack it again. If they haven't already, I haven't checked it out because I don't want to spend the $20 just for an emulation box, which is a weird thing to say. Especially, I got this at the high. I spent $300 during the mid-pandemic for this, so you know, boy did I get bent over on that one. Yeah, I did, but I wanted a new Xbox. But this is a pretty huge leak, and I'm sure if you slow this down or look it up, there's going to be so much more. You're like, whoa, you didn't talk about that. You didn't talk about it. And you can tell me in the comments, and I will discuss it with you. But this is just huge. This is huge, and I expect a lot more to come out of these documents, not just from these slides, but just in general, because we found out about the next generation of Nintendo. We found out Phil Spencer wants to buy Nintendo. We found out about the whole plan up until 2028 for Xbox. What else is coming? So tell me what you think about all this information in the comments. Do you think, like, I kept wondering, like, are they going to price drop the current Series X? What bundles do you think they're going to put out there? I think they're going to go wild with the Game Pass. I really do when these come out. So yeah, tell me what you think as a gamer, as someone who's into tech, because this fundamentally changes, you know, kind of how we're going to look at GPUs and CPU prices, because it usually is, you know, console comes out killing for value against a, you know, gaming PC. But this is a tough one. Xbox has made a strong move. Microsoft has made a strong move. So tell me what you think in the comments. As this is going in front of my head, I know I got the new animations. Like if you like, dislike if you dislike. Leave all those comments I kept asking for. Hit that subscribe button. And you made it to the end. You made it to the end. You're an amazing person. We love you over here. Bye.